Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
What has been the most heartbreaking thing you've personally witnessed? I've worked the same 40-minute route to work for about 5 years now, passing the same old guy and his German Shepherd walking beside him with no lead, carrying an old battered tennis ball. I figured he went to the corner shop for morning paper or whatever. Anyway, a few months ago there was no dog, and the guy was carrying the tennis ball, and has done ever since. My granddad crying as he kissed my mom's cheek and stroked her hair about 15 minutes after she had passed away. My mom was my grandparents' only child. To this day I have no idea how they have managed to carry on. Parents of Reddit, what are some of the strangest things you have heard your children say while gaming? My nephew, when we play games together, likes to randomly make jokes about how good my mom is. He's 11, I am mortified every time. My 6-year-old at the time was playing a Super Mario game, her favorite. Suddenly I hear, "Get down the hole you little bit." I had to be the parent, but inside I was dying of laughter. One time when my brother was like 9 he came out of his room absolutely fuming because someone called him a furry on Roblox. My 17-year-old came into my room while his girlfriend was over. He says, "Hey, if you hear loud noises coming out of my room, we're not up to anything, we're just playing this weird Sonic game." Screams, "I have a crush on you." You stay up talking to them multiple nights in a row and mess up your entire sleep schedule. Source, I am going through it right now. If they laugh at everything you say, there's a good chance they're crushing on you. Being in college and getting up at 7 a.m. to have breakfast with her when you have no classes at all that day. Benign insults and picking on each other, but never admitting a compliment for fear it would be misconstrued as creepy or give away the crush. Touching. If they are touching you more than the average person touches you, and or more than they are touching everybody else. What was the worst adult tantrum that you guys witnessed? A woman came into the subway I worked at 9 a.m. to scream at us because we no longer served pepperoni. It was apparently so awful it not only ruined her day, but her entire life. She vowed never to return, and stormed out. Worked security at a McDonald's. Some of the tantrums I've seen from grown adults at 3 a.m. is amazing. It's usually hard to not laugh at them and make it worse. My favorite was the guy who couldn't use the toilet, so he threw his food on the floor and stormed out, then tried to come back in but wasn't allowed, but he thought he deserved a refund for the food he threw. He stood outside and shouted for an hour. You could have any superpower but the first person to reply will choose a side effect. What will it be? I can't feel pain or I can heal any injuries. You are bedridden from depression. Cloning myself at will. The clone thinks they are you, and tries to kill you every 5 minutes. I can shape-shift into anything. You can only do this twice every 3 days. The ability to summon a long sword to my hand. It goes through your hand every time. I want to be able to freeze time in the sense that I can still do anything, but I can't age and neither will anything else. But every time you pause time you have to break at least one law or you die when you unpause. Absolute indestructibility. But you have very bad allergies. What's a big industry secret that isn't supposed to be known by the general public? Former Dunkin' employee here. We don't check the survey codes at the bottom of your receipt. Any random 5 digits in the space, you've got a free donut with purchase. Not in the casino industry, but I am in the fire service and we learn things like this. Casinos will pump an extra 1% of oxygen into the air to make you more alert and give you more energy, which allows you to stay there longer and spend more money. It's also the reason casino fires can be so catastrophic. A bottle of Windex is basically 95% water, 4% ammonia, and 1% blue dye fragrance. The most expensive part of the product is the bottle. What's a name you would never give to your child? Gaylord is a bizarre name in today's context. Splinter. The mom of this boy has 2 kids, Vlinder, translates as butterfly, and him, Splinter. Guess who the favorite kid was? I know someone in actual real life, who named their son Batman. What the actual Me fail. Yes, that's an actual name from Albania. Knew a kid with the last name Anna whose first name was Ben. How do you name a kid that and not know he is going to be called Banana for the rest of his life? What would you do if your mother started an Only? Subscribe to support the family and just block the mail notifications, and pray to forget. Expect better birthday presents. Be very worried as she has been gone for several years. Remind her to tease so she keeps the simps on the hook. Never give it up for free, mom. My mom does have an Only. I don't care. She's getting money and doesn't take it too seriously. It's whatever. Wonder why anyone would want to see a 70-plus-year-old like that. Onlygrins.com. I'd understand her, to be honest. My mom's a teacher, so her income is garbage without my stepdad. What's an automatic deal breaker on a first date? A dude once took his socks off while we watched a movie and started using his fingernails to dig stuff out from under his toenails. I was immediately out. Well, about a month ago I made plans to meet up for a date with this girl that I was really getting along with. Then after the plans were made, she calls me and says, "Oh yeah, I should probably tell you that I'm engaged and my fiancé will be joining us, but it's all right, we have an open relationship and he's bringing his girlfriend too." Pet names. Don't call me babe, we barely know each other. When they're clearly 20 years older than the pictures they used on the dating app. What is the eeriest, most depressing town or city in the world? Stockton, California. It's a weird combination of a large impoverished population, college students, and wealthy suburbians depending on what part you're in. Pyongyang is half theater production, half ghost town. Most of it is empty and the few businesses that are actually open are only there for appearances and to occasionally serve important visitors. Plainfield, Wisconsin. It's the hometown of Ed Gein and the locals there, they aren't friendly. They don't seem to like outsiders. Very weird vibe. Norilsk. It is in Russia and basically a giant apartment complex. No green, only concrete. What is a science fact that not many people know that will change the way they look at life? Elephants are known to bury their dead under foliage and remain with the bodies for some time afterwards, exhibiting behavior not dissimilar to human mourning. Indeed, it is the association of apparent grief or mourning that is considered to indicate a burial, as opposed to simply covering up or disposing of a body. I also read somewhere that they have buried humans. Water does not innately conduct electricity, it is all the dissolved stuff that allow electricity to pass through it. Water is fascinating stuff. That the human skin is quite heavy, it's around 16% of your body weight. What is something that makes you say, man, I hate people? Porch pirates. People thinking, hey, I know that's not mine but I want it, so I'm taking it, makes my blood boil. Plastic litter on nature trails is really messed up to me, like how does one enjoy a nature trail and at the same time think it's okay if we all toss Gatorade bottles there? When tourists or old people are walking in front of you and they just stop right there in the middle of the walkway with no consideration for who might be behind them. When someone orders a main meal as soon as the cafe restaurant is about to close. I work as a dishwasher in a cafe and the fact that I got to put the close routine on hold for you to wolf down a beef lasagna makes me physically ill. What are your best examples of people cheating the system? At my university I would always order delivery from a late night eatery and get a ride home with a delivery guy. Less expensive than a taxi, with a meal included. I know a married couple who started a food blog basically so they can write off their entire grocery bill. I was flying last month, and the plane I was on had Wi-Fi. There was a free 15-minute trial, and then you could purchase a chunk of time. I just kept deleting the cookies on my phone, refreshing, and logging back in. I stayed online for over an hour for free. I bring all my rechargeable items, shaver, cell phone, laptop, etc. to work and plug them in there. I figure I must have saved at least $1 or $2 last year in electricity. What is something people brag about that they shouldn't? Not being able to do basic tasks. I can't even boil water, I'm so quirky. No, you're not, you're a disappointment. Half of my students fail. Like congrats, you suck at your job. People should be discouraged from bragging about how uneducated they are. The fact that you don't read books, don't like school, or did poorly in education is not something to take honor from. How much they work 99% of the time they're salaried, so all that extra time does nothing for them anyway. All they're doing is bragging about how they're helping make someone else rich. What are some affordable items less than $100 that are life-changing? A detachable shower head. Get the water everywhere on yourself from all angles. A house plant. After a few weeks you will get addicted to loving it, and in a blink of an eye your room will be a tropical jungle. Blackout curtains, or just any way to block the light coming through your window. I fall asleep so much faster now that my room is pitch black at night. Humidifier. No more dry skin in the winter. No more sore throats in the morning. Mine even has a little pod that you can put a drop of essential oil on if you want it to smell good. Women of Reddit, what skill or talent makes a man more attractive? Blacksmithing, make me a sword with their initials on it and I'm yours forever. Musical or artistic ability. I'm an artsy person myself so I love it if the person I'm interested is also artsy. Also backing up with one hand on the wheel the other across the seat thing. My husband can sing, speaks 4 languages, does the laundry and all the dishes, can discuss abstract and emotional concepts, and has never answered, what are you thinking about with nothing? I call BS, we all know dreams don't come true. Carpentry and any handyman related skill. I think men who can build and fix physical things are super hot.